Cheers!
This is half gone.
We need a new one soon.
So, sorry to say, Rue's not joining us because his Wi-Fi is crap.
Terrible.
So we've expelled him from the podcast. Not from the 89, just from the podcast.
I was overruled.
But we have Paolo Sensei here instead. And so Paolo Sensei just taught a seminar today and we'll be teaching tomorrow. And we have a few questions for him, so we'll just jump straight into that, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here I am.
He's the question master.
With the master.
First question was, you've studied Tai Chi and other Chinese martial arts for a very long time, and people ask about how that has affected your karate. Has your karate affected those other martial arts also?
It's not an easy question actually, because I can't say that one influenced the other one, or which one influenced. Very difficult. Well, of course I started karate 60 years ago, when I was 7, 6 and a half, 7. And never thought to meet different martial arts in my life. But I always try to find the best solution for everything. That's my character. So, the first time I've been placed on the floor from an old Chinese person, I said, oops, maybe I missed something. I've never been influenced from the fact that you're Japanese or Chinese. I'm not that kind of guy that see an Oriental who, no, because I learned that. It's a completely different story. So when I see the ability, I said, this is ability. I want to learn. Of course, did influence my karate. But my karate was already on the way to being influenced. So it's very difficult to say because I wasn't looking always for the missing point. The missing point. It was not complete. That was clear in my mind. It was not complete. It must be something else. So surely you say, I do this, I learned that something else, that is being influenced, of course. But which one? I feel like the Chinese martial art was waiting for me. And meet my Japanese martial art. And they are not mixed up because I can make the word Shotokan anytime. And I can make quite good Tai Chi, Pakuaxi, Ni Ping Chi, Baji and Pigwa anytime. And this I'm not saying, my students say, and not even my students, even other masters, they never see me. So I consider myself quite lucky that I found in my life many great teachers. That's the thing. Both sides got something with me in the middle. So chronologically say, you can say that Chinese martial arts influenced my karate at first. But then it's not mixed up. It's well separated inside of me. But you learn a lot from other science. Let's talk about science. If you do only one thing specifically, okay, you're very good. But if you open your mind in different directions, you learn even more. That's, I think, is the point. Of course, it takes a life to learn something. But if you're lucky and you meet the right teacher, maybe half life, or maybe a quarter, so you can do something else as well. Important is don't close yourself inside one box. That's the point.
And did you ever have any curiosity in any of the other Japanese martial arts? I know you're saying you don't differentiate between Chinese and Japanese really, but you listed not just Tai Chi but quite a few martial arts. Have you ever looked at Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Judo?
Yeah, I done a black belt of Jiu-Jitsu with two of the first importers in Italy of Judo. They were practicing judo and jiu-jitsu. You still find they wrote a book big like this, which was from white belt to black belt in judo. One was Tommaso Betti Berutto, this is the full name, and the other one was Giuseppe Antonio Cuzzocrea. Those two were the importers of judo in Italy, judo and jiu-jitsu. Cuzzocrea, the second guy, was the father of my first student of karate, and he actually was my teacher of fencing when I was a very young kid. And I made a black belt of that. I still have my diplomas of judo and jiu-jitsu to the black belt. And that time we used to, not to the mat, we used to the wood.
So at the time, did they differentiate between judo and jiu-jitsu, or it was
Yes.
just...
No, it was different anyway.
Okay.
You have the tanto-dori, the self-defense stuff and everything, not only it was not a competition judo at that time.
Yeah.
It was more a self-defense judo. Both were military anyway.
Did he do the kata, the judo kata?
Only one, I think.
Okay.
Only one. I remember for the exam, more than that, but not for it. And on the wooden floor, not mats.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It's okay
But
when
I
you
was young. Now I don't do it, no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still use it.
And question number 2, I believe, was that a lot of martial artists, specifically karate, tend to practice old martial arts, martial arts passed down over years and years and years. You've spent a good bit of time creating new kata and creating brand new martial arts sort of techniques and principles, or maybe not new principles, but a new system, so to speak. What do you see the benefits of that creation versus practicing something that's passed down over a long period of time?
I believe that creativity is fundamental to create a future. Everything that you create, it's good. So those that refer only to tradition, keep the tradition like that. Okay, please give back your smartphone, say ciao ciao to your Tesla, and go back to bicycles and things like that. That's just ridiculous. Because the first they try to change and try to improve and try to get things and make it new are the Japanese and Chinese themselves. So it's important that you believe in, can I do something better? Can I make it better? Can I use the knowledge? Can I use science? Can I use whatever to create a better something for a better future? That's why the kata in Makoto Kata, there are not so many, but anyway, we use the Shotokan kata with some little adjustment to prevent injuries, because I got a lot of injuries, so I want to prevent other people to have the same injuries. And I create some Makoto kata which are completely different than the others because they are principles in motion. So you don't search for application. Okay, of course you can apply everything in everything, but they are principles in motion, and I place together in an order. What is important to learn by first, second, third, and so then they are not for sure competition kata. They are katas. Something that I can see in some other people. Do it again. No, that's wrong. So let's correct that point. So it's a way for me even to understand if you understood. Otherwise, it's a bit difficult only in kumite. Even the fundamentals, we have the fundamentals of kumite. Some basic rules and principles to fight in a better way, but not a fight. Could not be a traditional way of fighting, could not be a sport karate. Of course, has to be some kind of contact. We never search for the full contact and feeling strong, feeling great. No. Some contact is absolutely a must. Otherwise, it's impossible to understand if that technique is efficient or not efficient. I'm not saying effective, efficient. And efficient is a different thing than effective, from my point of view, of course. I think efficiency is more with less. Effective could be even, I use a lot of power and the other one is not dead or something like that. That's not efficient for me and for the other. I see kumite like exchanging energy between two persons. If you want to kill somebody, get a gun or a stick, a pointed stick. So, of course, the kata are indispensable. I believe in kata so much. And not all the kata are okay with principles. They're a little bit mixed up. Some are precious. Some other you can see that here it's a bit funny. And I don't want to change the Shotokan kata. I don't have any. I don't feel myself to change other people's work.
Yeah.
So that was a choice. What should I do? Okay, let's make my own research instead of changing work of some other. So I don't want to change your Tesla. I want to create something different.
I think people can get fixated about like traditional martial arts, right? And I've written about it before about kind of the idea of tradition and the idea of art being completely opposites. You can't have a traditional art. Art is completely evolving, and tradition is set in an archetype or a stereotype. So, but people get fixated about that, don't they? And they feel like they have to maintain some sort of connection to the masters. But like if you keep on going back and back and back, who was the original epitome of brilliance? Was it Funakoshi Sensei with his with his karate? I mean, like
that's
everything evolves, right? And so you can keep those lessons that we've learned from the past, standing on the shoulders, and evolve into something newer.
Yeah, but you must have even some critical idea, because some is really wrong. You can see that and produce very bad results on other people's bodies and mind as well. So tradition is fine, but we can make it better.
I often think, like in the 1960s when, I remember I spoke to Asai Sensei and asked him about introducing the Yokogeri into Nichu Shippon, because of course before then it was the Nami Ashi. And I said, Sensei, what happened? Why did you do this? He was like, I think the all Kanto, the all Tokyo area kata finals, and he says I was young and flexible and 25 years old, and I went and I was in the finals and I just did it. And I was like, why? He said, well, my Yokogeri was really good. And he was like, so Kakoida show, it was just really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And I was like, that's why, because you looked cool. Like, yeah, it's 25. And obviously ever since then we've done that. But I always thought at that time there was like that kind of like changing and development, and then if it stuck, it meant that people latched onto it, and there was a collective kind of consciousness of, oh yeah, we're going to keep that. And there was loads of things that people did, like Kanazawa Sensei's Mawashigeri and Enki, that didn't stick, and people rejected it. And I thought that was quite a time of absolute development, where the art developed, where people then collectively judged or dismissed it as either a positive or not a positive development. And I thought, why can't that still be? I mean, of course, katas are often set, but even then, there's lots of wiggle room within those katas, how to move. And like so many people, I've done stuff and I mean, I literally had a dojo leave the organisation because I taught the beginning of Jikdei, the start in Hanmi. And they went, no, this is Shomen. Oh, okay. No, it's Shomen. Oh, yeah, okay, you do Shomen, but I'm doing Hanmi. And they left. I was like, okay.
Well, let's show you a little bit of now.
Yeah, I was like, welcome, please, go. Yeah.
Plus people don't even know why they do it.
Yeah.
You can talk about extensor, flexors, and position.
Yeah.
Same like, remember, Unsu, everybody thinks they have to beat something there.
Yeah.
This is just a power here, not there. Right.
I mean, I genuinely was like, yeah, you can do it in Shomen, and Shomen has good merit and reason. But for today's class, for this specific thing I'm thinking about, we're doing it in Hanmi. No, you must always. No, it's right, but
that's very.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Even when they were right, they were wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no way out. That's it.
Yeah.
Either you open or you close. No way out.
Yeah.
It's like in politics, I believe this. This.
Yeah.
Even if they show you, no, I can't believe. Totally refuse. You talk and you explain, no, sorry, no. It's like three monkeys,
Yeah.
Same. I know that.
You were talking there about when you were thinking about creating your kata, or even in the Shotokan kata, adjusting certain things to avoid injuries.
I tried.
You've had hip replacements. You had a question from
2 here, 1 there.
Ray Sensei, who's just recently had a hip replacement. He wanted to know, since your hip replacement, how did your training feel post-operation, were you tentative, scared? Did it feel stronger afterwards? Like the comparison before to after?
There are some exercises I can't do it anymore, but I don't think that is because of the hip replacement, because I don't feel anything. My split's still 180 degrees, maybe some less, because you don't push down, but I don't have any feeling or problem. It's very important that you keep doing all the things you do always. Either you have an operation before, after, just do it. As I said, there are two situations when the doctor see it's not objective, it's subjective. So there are some people that if you look at the X-rays, but you could not move, you can't move, and actually they do it very well. So there's two different. So it's very important that apart of that, I don't feel anything, but some exercise I stopped. You know why? Because I already couldn't do it before. So if you don't do something for some year, then it's very difficult you go back to that. For example, I remember that I was doing the pistol squat, straight leg, even behind, and my record was 88 times for legs. Now I can do only one to go to bed. Or to sit down. I can't do that anymore. I don't even feel to do it. Can't. But I don't think there's any limitation if you. The only limitation is yourself. It's you.
It was a funny one, like you with your knee at the physio. I know any time I've been injured and went to a physio, they said, "Oh, can you touch your toes or do this?" And you're like, "Yeah, my calf's torn, but I can still flex all the way down and all the way back up." Like, you should be able to do that. Like,
if you go to the doctor, they say, "Touch there, you do. Touch it there." What do you want from me? The doctor said. Be happy. Keep doing. Don't do it. That's normal.
Yeah. You trained through a long sustained injury.
Yeah.
Like how?
I was saying to Paolo Sensei this today. I went to the surgeon, the specialist who's a surgeon, late last summer, early autumn, and a first MRI scan in maybe 5 years, and he's like, okay, we've got the scan. Okay, let's have a look at you first, and can you do that? Okay, squat down. Yeah, no problem. Was it like this, and the inflection, and okay, and. Okay, sit down, let's have a look at the scan. And he's scrolling through the scan. He's like, yeah, he says, Scott, he says, if I was looking at this scan on anyone else, I'd recommend an immediate knee replacement, total knee replacement. He says, it's bone on bone there, and it's bone on bone there, and blah, blah, blah. No ACL, and the damage that caused 25 years ago. And he says, yeah, I'd recommend complete knee replacement. He says, so karate's still going okay? Yeah. Still teaching all the time? Yeah. Anything you can't do? No. Can you sleep at night? No pain? Yeah, no pain. He said, okay, come back when you can't sleep at night. I was like, yeah, that's never going to happen. He said, yeah. Off you go.
I passed through that. My first pain happened like this. I remember I went to sleep, absolutely nothing. During the night, like someone get a knife in your hip, and from there, I operated first my left. Then it was wrongly done. I had to redo the left, and before I was there, I said, let's do even the right. Come on. So I done left and right together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a bit difficult because if you have one, you can still walk with the other one. And I remember that, and the nurse in the hospital said, okay, today we walk. I was in bed, and I said, okay, today, very happy, you can walk. I remember I done 3 meters, I was destroyed. Destroyed. So the aspectless. So don't do it. You can postpone. But
well, much better wear your joints out than your heart and your lungs and your mind.
Yeah, but don't worry, you can have everything.
I'm waiting for AI to sort me all out.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
We had another question from John Sensei asking about your time in Japan and training in Japan and what your experience was there, and also your personal opinion about the current state of competition karate. And is there any benefit to competition karate?
Well, competition karate is very good for kids, for sure. Kids need to compete. If it's done in a proper way, of course. You want to compete when you're grown old, okay, but you can live without competition. We have every day in everything in our life. So you really need to compete even in karate. Okay, maybe it's okay. In the past was different. We were pioneers. I remember in Japan, when you enter, you know that you enter, you said, well, let's hope I can go out with my legs. At that time, the training was very hard. It depends who you were connected to. Some, I remember Yahara Sensei doing very funny things, especially on some guy that he was not liking much in the morning. So it was hard time over there. You wrote a book that is proper. So totally agree with everything. So that's my point. So it was hard times, and I made splendid friends as well. We've been even skiing. We were talking about that. With him, we've been skiing very fun places. And but in the dojo was very hard. Some training, especially in the morning, was very hard, very hard. As I said, as a Western coach, you think they want to show you something, you know, that you can't do it. But it's not, it's part of their tradition. You have to fight, you fight. It's like you are in Japan, it's like you live inside yourself, not outside. We are more outside. The real Japanese typical karate is inside, closed inside himself. To take it out from there, it's not that easy. It's difficult. So you never understand the character of people there. Especially as an Italian, you try to make friendship. Well, let's go pizza and so on. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. So you can't expect that. The training is very hard. I don't know if now, starting again, I would do that again. I don't think so, because it's changed there. It's not the same like before. In the past, it was mystery for us. I remember when I started karate, my grandmother used to say, are you going tonight again to do judo? Judo. So what's kind of judo with the R. Judo. The name karate was unknown. So there was a lot of mystery around that. I remember I used to go to seminars, we didn't know the program. And one day I thought, empty kata. It's a mystery. No? Now you can learn everywhere, in every so there's no mystery anymore. It's only training. In some way, I think the young generation really lost something. So it's no mystery, no imagination. Now everything is there. You can have everything. In the past was, let's say, our heroes was, you know, the image of the wow with the sword or the samurai. Now, if you have to make a statue of a hero today, you just put a statue of a person on the phone. It's very difficult. I think that those times, they cannot come back. Now we are going in another direction. We have to find a different karate for the future. And I'm not meaning a competition karate. Because rules, we have rules, every kind of rules. Different meaning to step into the dojo. Leave all your things out and step inside the dojo. Clean mind, clean heart, open to learn. That we should remember.
I mean, in many ways, I think like now it's needed more than any other time, because
Right.
like we are out of control so much. Then the one thing that we can take control of is forcing us to step in the dojo. And even though as soon as you step on the dojo floor, you're no longer in control, but you're no longer in control by choice. I choose to be here. And that's very empowering, I think, for people. And so, like the biggest growth we ever had in the dojo, two massive leaps in terms of membership, was post the financial crash in 2008, whatever it is, and post-COVID. Like massive influx of people, because they're like, oh, I'm not in control of anything in this life, I'm going to take control of that. And so, yeah, I think it's really important.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think this could be the role of karate in the future. Forget about competition, forget about medals, forget about everything. But you know, a group of people that they think in the same way, positive way, can create a different air. Create really something different. a group of people that are angry, low, depressed.
Yeah.
So I think
and there's no better way to create those connections, those positive connections from your child to your pensioner, from your refugee to your top barrister, from your doctor to your window cleaner. Like there's within this dojo, there's that cross connection of people that I think is truly a kind of a mini culture, a mini community that everyone is actively choosing to be part of positively. So yeah, I think that is fundamentally an important part.
that's actually the reason why just before the COVID, I think it was 2019 or 18, they asked me to do to get the president of WKMO. When I said, guys, in a conference, there was a Japanese guy, the president at that time, and actually it was WUKO at that time, and we changed the name to encircle the other martial art. But part of that, my idea was to go to United Nations and ask a recognition for every martial art as a treasure of humanity. Because we agree that it's good for kids, good for adults, good for elderly people. Everyone agreed that. So I'm pretty sure that the status of treasure of humanity is good for any martial art, everywhere. We started with that. We have, of course, to go beyond the federation, because if you go as a federation, no way. We have to go to every single nation that that create martial art. China, Federation Martial Art, Japan, and we got all this, and then it's supposed to go to United Nations ask for that. And then came the COVID. So after that came this wars. So how can we go to, because we suppose even to ask important politics guy, like even Vladimir Putin, that is a martial art practitioner in judo, he did even some karate, to sign a petition. Imagine that go now with that. They throw you out immediately out of the door. So it's a shame, because martial art could be really good for all humans. Make humans better, kids better, adults better, less stress, elderly. Imagine an old teacher, how much can give wise, from the life, and teach as well martial art. That's fantastic. So I think martial arts is very unique, because we have the confrontation. Dancing is similar, but we go together, have a fight.
Have you ever heard the Sadhguru talk about the origins of yoga?
This not, but I know Sadhguru, I've seen it many, but this I know.
Okay, so he talks about he was asked about the origins of yoga, and like whether you believe that yoga was the original starter of Shaolin martial arts, or whatever you believe, but
I don't think that. But
he talked about. He said, it was the givers of knowledge who came after the Great Flood, like the origin myth that exists in 100 cultures around the world. Big flood, the Younger Dryas period. These givers of knowledge came and taught architecture and animal husbandry and maths and law and also this ability to connect mind and body through yoga practice. I was like, that's really interesting. So like in terms of like this is a international humanitarian kind of important treasure. Well, if you believe also his origin story of yoga, they thought the same thing, because these are the things that they took to create a new civilization.
Yeah, I agree in this idea, even because the Tikao, which is the Chinese yoga, say the same. It's interesting because the monks, either they are Shaolin monks or Taoist monks from Buddha, for sure they didn't create the martial art for fighting. And they didn't create the martial art even for self-defense, because no one was going to attack a monk at that time. Or maybe, yes, but really, it's poor, so I'll attack you that you don't have anything, so it's silly. So that was a way. And the other way was martial art because I'm a warrior. And many times happened that the warriors become then monks. Never the opposite. So it seems to me that martial art could be a line, self-generated everywhere. Because the same, I remember those very famous fighters like Miyamoto Musashi in Japan. At one point said, if you search in front of the house, if you search for a sword master, is not living here. Well, I don't want to do it anymore after 60 or something killed in the US. There's many stories like this. So I think that the ability martial art then become more spiritual at some point, and then perhaps even a monk can go over and over and over, not hitting you but stopping you. That's a very good idea. I think it's a growing line. You increase, you slowly go to the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain, probably there's another mountain after that, but the top of the mountain is the same.
Well, even the kanji for Budo is made of two kanjis put together, and one is conflict and the other one is to stop. And so it's not to make conflict, it's not the way of conflict, but it's the way to stop conflict. And this is, I think, sometimes people misunderstand the actual meaning of that, just one specific word, and they use it so much, Budo, Bushido, blah 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 blah, all the time. But do you actually know what that kanji means?
Majority don't know, because they do something like start with Bu, but I don't say the rest.
And another question was talking about going back to martial arts, humanitarian treasure, like martial arts for health reasons. One of the questions was at a seminar you talked about how bad karate, bad martial practice can lead to bad health
And diseases.
And just if you could elaborate a little bit on that.
Well, that's quite well known now in many different specialities, and you know that martial art can be very tough for someone, can create conflicts inside. And when you create a conflict inside, it can be so powerful, it can create disease as well. And of course, we have to analyze every single situation. But if you live, for example, karate in a very frustrated way, you are the last of the line, you can't get better, you really want to get better. How many times we've seen in exams people crying because they couldn't pass? It can become a problem. You can fail, and failing can create a lot of anger, create problems. Now we know now, because it's well proven, not maybe well certificate, but proven in medicine that can create disease. In Chinese medicine this is quite clear. Origin is of every disease, it's a blockage of what they call qi, life energy. And blockage of qi are caused from pains. Okay, if I hit, I can create a block of qi, and bad thing. Or if I don't move, I can create a block of qi. But even if I have some angriness inside and I can't live, and pass over, that can create terrible disease.
I think you can do this at home, but get 2 jars of rice in 2 different cupboards. You open one cupboard and you say, "Oh, you beautiful rice, I love you, you're the best." And you tell the other one to piss off every day. That one will go mouldy, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, that's a very simple little experiment. And then of course someone that I don't believe it. Well, try.
Yeah.
And even just what is disease if it's not dis-ease? That inability to be at ease with oneself. I was talking to my yoga teacher actually about something similar to this, and I was saying about just how we physically represent our mentality, and our mentality represents our physicality. And I was like, I don't know a person who does karate who, if they are stiff in their thinking, like in absolute and the black and white, those type of people, they're also stiff in their karate. And vice versa, the people who are very flexible, they're often very kind of changeable, not changeable, but ability to adaptable. And I was like, do you see this in yoga? And she was like, absolutely. She says, I'll take it a step further. She says, not only the mentality, but the jobs that they do, the clothes that they wear. And I was like, what do you mean the clothes that they wear? She says, imagine this, an office worker, they're on the computer, they're literally buttoned down, tie, and the range of motion that they do is this. Compare them to a farmer who's wearing loose-fitting clothes, who's grabbing and moving. Who do you think is the most dogmatic, who do you think is the most adaptable? She says everything influences and changes everything else.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And posture, movement can create blockage. Why yoga people get soft and more elastic? Because they breathe. Simply breathe in position, stay, try to avoid pain, or try to relax. And get. So this of course has some influence in your mind. You see, serious yoga is a peaceful person. And of course started in India. Why? Because it's 50 degrees. What do you want to start there? Basketball? You can't. You do 3 minutes and okay, see you tomorrow. As well, you could not start yoga in northern Sweden. I'm freezing. So every single thing we have in humanity is being created there, not by chance, but for different combinations. So I think that a happy person is, let's say, happy inside, not fake a happy person. It's very difficult to get ill and have some disease, and it can pass over. And this is another thing that we can make experiment, of course. What you say to yourself is the most dangerous poison or the most healthy message that you can do. What you say to yourself in the secret of your mind. This is not good, I've done something wrong, always me. All this creates a problem. And when you fail on training, you do some stiff technique and you, no, I want to go over there, that's not good for your body. And you're going to pay with some little thing, some joint that have to be replaced, and we are lucky that we can, or with some even worse stuff.
So, I mean, the amount of times that I've had my instructors, not him, but like others, like because I'm on the dojo, no, it needs to blah 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 blah, and you know this happens. Get in the office, like you know who you are. You're a full-time instructor.
Yeah.
I've given you this opportunity. You know why? Because I think you're worth it. Because you're good enough. Be that person. That's the story you tell yourself, not the story that you're telling yourself on that dojo floor. Do you understand?
That's
and us. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now get back up there. So no, that's wrong. But like, because they can believe the external.
I'm terrible.
It becomes internal.
I'm terrible. I always say. Very good. That was fantastic. Then you wait 4 or 5 seconds. But
let it reset.
Well, you know how it was in Japan, no?
Yeah.
Boom. Thank you.
They
have a lot of disease there.
Yeah.
See how long is the life of the famous karate master. Just make a research, age of death of the famous, very young. Well, if you search in Tai Chi, for example, going back to the first question, you can't find that. Very long life.
Yeah, there's definitely that fire that drives some of the great masters that, like, we could all name, but what the point in doing that, but that drive that they physically sent them into such high level, became physical gods, then was never quenched and kept on driving them until it eventually started to burn away and eat away them. I mean, like, it's such a big generalization, and of course there's lots of other limiting factors, but I've seen it over and over again. They never go.
If you make a research, then you can see someone sooner or later can do it. This one died. It's something boring. And you know, you said they have some good physical ability. Many of them, if you remember, they didn't have any special ability, so they compensate with the with the character.
I remember once, I think in Trieste you were talking about this idea, and you were saying that, you know, the idea of like people holding kine and like that energy's not being released from your body, it's rebounded back into you, and that can, you know, potentially, you know, be harmful in some ways, rather than, you know, that kind of like.
Yeah, especially if you make tight your fists, that's the problem. For example, in Chinese martial art, international martial art, the fist is never closed, it is always almost closed.
Yeah.
This makes some sense because energy can flow. But and we enter in a way of energy. What's energy? It's actually the fascial system moving freely. So more than energy, say a continuous flowing of force instead of blocking force. The flowing of force is health. That's why Tai Chi or other similar things. The blocking energy is contraction. You can contract yourself. In Chinese medicine, they say that, for example, the C7, cervical 7, which is the one that you touch and it's not moving. The first one is a kind of big one. When it's completely blocked, can produce disease. Very strange disease. Heart, lungs, even diabetics can start from there. So they place acupuncture. Of course, you have to believe in acupuncture, and it's something that the Chinese medicine is very good, but it's prevention medicine. If you go, you're already sick, you go there. Not really.
For insurance purposes, Paolo Sensei does not suggest when you have diseases to go get acupuncture.
No. If you have a good Chinese doctor around you, go often to visit once a month. How do you feel? Me? Okay, thank you. Because that was the tradition. A doctor was not waiting for patients. He's going all around the village and check everyone. And if someone died, for example, that doctor is finished. The doctor used to say, look, you have to prepare because grandfather, grandmother is dying soon. That was what the doctor was saying. The energy starts to... We are electrical batteries. Our cell are trillions of cells inside. They can produce like in the movie Matrix, but it's true. We have electric power inside. When this electric power goes down, and must dim down. That's important. Everyone now is very fashion talking about testosterone. They have to do it. They have to be. But no, that's wrong. You have to let nature go. And we are not here to stay forever. We are here to stay good, not forever. All of you, of course, I will stay.
You do a master away from Kung Fu Panda and just disappear in cherry blossoms or something.
That could be good.
Yeah.
I even like the music.
Yeah.
I like that.
What time is it?
We go like.
The last one from Steve Bale Sensei was quite a funny one. If you could ask Funakoshi Sensei any question, what would you guys ask him?
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You guys.
No, you can do it if you want.
What would I ask Funakoshi Sensei? I think I wouldn't. I don't think I'd ask him anything because obviously what he did was really successful. But like with the hindsight of some decisions that you're going to make will tragically affect things that obviously you understand and realize that. Well, so here's the question I'd ask him. So you're brilliant. Who else are you bringing over from Okinawa to support the areas that you can't do?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one because that was a critic actually that you received in life.
Yeah.
Why you didn't? Because actually his teacher was referring to him like not a very fantastic student. I don't know if that was a kind of jealous acting or I don't know. But there's a lot of mysteries actually connected to his past in Okinawa. So what I would ask is, how was your life in Okinawa? Who taught you and what did you learn really? Because you know very well that when you do something, there are another 20 that try to do in a different way and tell that he said that. That is not that he said, that you understood that, and so they change what you do, even if you create something. That's happening in Shotokan, in every style. Goju-ryu, for example, you can't recognize it. Where's the Jew? Where's the only Go? So, and even Makoto Kai already, I have people that make interpretation of my own work. So I don't think it's, the question is more connected to the roots, I think, how started. Because for Jichin Funakoshi, for example, we don't know much of his life in Okinawa.
I think I know, like, obviously in the 20th century, 21st century, sustainability is like what we're all thinking about, whereas back then we thought about these things. But like, I think every decision that you make, you've got to be making it thinking, how's this going to work out in 100 years' time? Like, how is it going to work out if I make this decision for a community? How can you extrapolate that out to the nth degree and see all the checks and balances to make sure that the overriding principle behind that decision is still dominant rather than just the decision itself. And I think maybe Funakoshi Sensei was a terrific academic and was very good at connecting people and creating a community and putting it into the school and university system. But
I don't think he was thinking about us.
yeah,
Actually.
no, I mean,
Sure not.
and no one can predict the future, of course.
No.
But I think you need balance, right? And so one person bringing karate to the mainland is saying, oh, he knows everything.
No, it's
How is that possible?
Yeah.
So it's not balanced.
No. My concern now at the moment is to find a way to keep karate alive in the future.
I mean, like something that I think about a lot is that you can never know what you really truly think about something unless you're arguing with someone about it. Like, what do I really think about, this specific kind of like political development?
That's true.
Oh, okay, this is what I think about it. No, you don't. You start talking about someone who thinks the opposite, and then you'll truly understand. And so to live in isolation means that you don't know anything. You only know things in comparison to what someone else knows. And so you can't have a single sense. You need a binary system at least to kind of create greatness.
I remember a sketch of Monty Python when guy said, "I'm here to have an argument." Do you remember that?
No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. All you're doing is just contradicting me. Oh, this is the contradiction room? Oh, I thought it was the... Sorry. Okay.
So, we are humans.
Yeah.
We are humans. So you cannot make all people happy.
Yeah.
You just do the best you can.
Yeah.
And I think that Funakoshi Sensei is doing the same.
Yeah, of course.
Just to do his best at that time.
Yeah.
And remember Shirai Sensei that once he told me, after I die, I don't care. At the moment I thought it was that's not a good thing. But think about it. How can you care after you're dead? You can't.
Yeah.
So you have to do the best during life. Keep alive the best of what we do. Because we do something very special. We can give input to people, we can give positivity. So let's keep alive that. But not easy. I want to be a very strong fighter. Be a better person. That is much better. Then you will be a strong fighter. If you want to be a strong fighter, you will not be. You will be a very unhappy person. If you try to be a nice person, you will be a lot stronger. That's the point.
I think that's a very good point to finish.
So, guys, sorry if I got the questions a bit lame as I'm doing it off memory, but hopefully you got a couple of nice insights from Paolo Sensei.
And hopefully next time we'll have Ru.
Yeah.
If he manages to find a decent Wi-Fi in New York.
Maybe you guys do one when you're over in New York together.
I'm on holiday.
You don't want to do it. Oh, okay.
I'm on holiday. That's like I'm going to have to buy him dinner, and that's all I will do. Okay, bye guys.